Welcome to part 2 of After the Wizards. First of all of these kind of look the same here. And the notes field kind of looks the same as everything else. So let's go in here and let's say, this notes field, I really want it to be more like a text box. And you can see that I can hold a heck of a lot more characters than what I can display here on the notes field. I can put a whole bunch of stuff there and it kind of scrolls off. I don't really like the look of that. So how are we going to change this notes field around? I'm going to edit this page. I'm going to look inside of my regions. And I'm going to take a look at the notes piece. P3, by the way, is the name of the field. Where did the P3 come from? Well, this is page 3. That's a standard way that Oracle Application Express names the items that are inside the regions, that are on the pages inside the application. So you'll see things like P3 row ID, P3 movie ID. That's where that P3 is coming from. It's grabbing it from page 3. You don't have to call it P3 underscore. You can call it anything you want. But that's kind of the standard way that all Oracle Application Express developers use different item names inside of their application. So let's go to P3 notes. We're going to edit that guy. He's displayed right now as a text field. I want to display it as something different. And we have kind of these other things here. Some of them kind of look like what we're looking for, like a rich text editor, list manager, pop-up LOV, list of values, a select list, a shuttle box, We're going to go through all of these when it comes time to define what our forms are in upcoming lessons. But you have all of these different things here. The main thing to remember is that it's really hard to screw something up inside of Apex that you can't recover from. So you can change these pieces around, maybe make it into a rich text editor, maybe make it into something else that even doesn't seem appropriate. Run the page again. If it looks stupid or it doesn't have the functionality you want, no big deal. You just go back, you edit it again, change it back to its original value. You're good to go. So what happens if I change this to a text area? I say apply changes, I run the page again. It kind of looks the same, but now I have this little drag bar here where I can change the size of the notes field. Well, that's kind of cool. That helps me a little bit, but it still displays the original form like this. And if my end users aren't trained on how to use that, it's certainly not perfect. And you can see how Oracle Application Express even handles redrawing the other regions on the page. As I make the notes field bigger, it automatically redraws and moves everything else, the other regions on the page. That's one of the many benefits that's just built into Oracle Application Express without worrying about it as a developer. Still not exactly what I'm looking for. I want notes to kind of show up as, bigger, and I want it to be really visually obvious to my end user that they can go in there and they can throw a whole bunch of notes in there. So I go back and I edit the page again. I edit P3 notes. And I kind of like that text area, but there's got to be something else I can do there. Wonder what this is. Column, automatic. Maybe if I have it span 3 columns and I have it row span 5. What happens if I do that? Again, it's really hard to screw anything up in Application Express. If this doesn't give you what you're looking for, just set the values back again. So click on Apply Changes. I run the page again. Oh, look at that. Didn't really give me what I was looking for, did it? I was hoping to get this box bigger, but it kind of moved notes all the way over into what looks like kind of the third column here. This looks like the first column, and then maybe this is the second column, and here's the third column over here. Rats, that wasn't what I was looking for. So let's go back and edit the page again. Let's edit P3 notes. That wasn't what I was looking for, so I'm going to start this back on automatic. I'm going to put that on automatic. And what happens if I leave that at 5? Click on Apply Changes again, run the page. Doesn't really make a difference. This lesson isn't really intended to solve the answer for you. It's just the kind of things that you'll have to do on a regular basis when users come back to you and say, I kind of like the way the form looks right now, but I really want this to be over here and I want that to be over here. This is the type of things that you have to do after the wizards are complete. The wizards are going to generate sometimes 95% of the work for you automatically. It's going to define all of the plumbing for you to go in there and do stuff like create new records inside of your database. Again, that's not a simple thing to do. If you've done any type of web-based development where you're interfacing with a relational system like an Oracle database, that is not a very simple thing to do. And Oracle Application Express handles all of that transactional management for you automatically. What you're going to spend a lot of time doing is kind of tweaking the way the user interface is defined for the end user. If you go back to edit page 3, you want to edit the P3 notes. And it looks like these pieces on the grid aren't giving you what you're looking for, the column and the column span. What it really is the element span that's down here. So if I make the height 5 and then I double the size of the width to 64, and I say, okay, that's what I want it to look like. I click on Apply Changes. I run again, and you can see the notes is a nice big fat window here. I still have the text area, so I can still grab it here and even make it bigger if I want to. But this way, right out of the box, it comes in a bigger field. So it's a visual cue to the end user that it's a free text field where you can go and you can write a whole bunch of different notes that are out there.